Hi guys, and welcome to my channel. What we're going to be discussing today is my December 2019 monthly budget. So how I start my monthly budget is I start with this monthly budget sheet. I write out the amount of my paycheck that I'm going to budget for, and then the amount of extra income I'm going to get. And my extra income is me and my husband split the mortgage and all of the major bills. So like the water bill, gas and electric, um, sewer, anything for the house we split. My personal bills, which will be my car note because he has his own car note. Um, I don't budget in any money for him to contribute with groceries because I do all the grocery shopping, and usually he'll just buy himself what he's going to eat, so I don't budget that. But then my personal things are like my Stars, Hulu, Netflix. So my personal subscriptions, my allowance, oh, and my son's allowance. I don't include his dad for that. And then my credit card debt is my personal debt, so I don't include that. So this is where I start. I start here, and then I move here into my life planner. So for the month of December, I just have a few photos of my family that kind of help keep me motivated and going. This year I lost my mom, my grandmother, and my grandfather. So very rough year for me, but I'm getting through it. So I just print out their pictures just to put a smile on my face when I see them. Here, I don't think this is what I'm going to do with this page moving forward for the new year. I'm not quite sure yet though what I want to see on this page, but I don't really want to track birthdays here. And I track my monthly goals on the next page, so I don't know what I want to use this page for. Feel free to comment some suggestions. But here is where I take all my monthly bills. So this page, stuff might be upside down, sorry. This page, and I transfer it here for the due date of those bills. So when I open up this book, I know what bills are due for that month and on what day. So it helps me keep track to make sure I have enough money in my account to clear these expenses. So for the month of December, my first paycheck doesn't arrive until the 13th. My next paycheck won't arrive until the 27th. So I have to track how much money I'm going to need in my bank account to make sure my bills from the 1st through the 11th clear. So I have a savings account, and it has more than $1,000 in it, but it's the Dave Ramsey $1,000 emergency fund. I use that fund to float my cash. So what I mean by that is, say for instance, I don't have a calendar in front of me to tell you my last payday, but my last payday for the month of October probably was like October 23rd. So I had to budget October 23rd's paycheck to clear all of my expenses until the 11th. Same thing for this paycheck. My paycheck for the 13th is going to be used to clear all of my bills to my next paycheck. So if I don't have enough money in my account, I'll move the money from my emergency fund, which is not in a savings account because you only are allowed, I think, 6 transfers from a savings to a checking a month. So I'll just keep it in a separate checking account, and I'll just transfer the funds into my regular spending account to make sure that these bills can clear. So from the 1st through the 11th, I needed $2,122.54 in my bank account to make sure that these transactions cleared. On this side, I have goals here, what I want to focus on throughout the month. Down here, I just write out of my main account what transactions are going to come out so that I know how much needs to be in my checking account, because I am not a cash-based spender. I tried that. I've been budgeting for the last 3 years, and I tried so hard to be a cash-based spender, and it's not easy for me. With gas, I absolutely hate getting out of the car, walking to the attendant, not really knowing how much to put in there. If I put too much money, having to go back to the attendant to get the change, it just became a headache. I really didn't like doing that. So that's just one example. Plenty of examples of why I don't like the cash-based system. Cash envelope system is what I mean. I also hated carrying around that much cash with me, all those envelopes. I just didn't enjoy it. So what I do is I put all of my transactions on one credit card, and at the end of the billing cycle, I pay that balance off in full and bring the account back to a zero balance. But some bills I just automatically have coming out of my checking account. For example, my mortgage, of course you can't, well shoot, I don't know if you can pay a mortgage on a credit card. It wouldn't be wise though to do that. My son's tuition, they charge a fee if you use a credit card, so out of my checking account. My credit card bills has to come out of my checking account. My car note needs to come out of my checking account. Just a few examples. So I mark those here so that I remember, like, these are the transactions that's going to come out of that account, so that I know when I'm adding up my total bills what needs to be in my checking account in order for them to clear. So that's that. On this page, I don't decorate. I just literally write down what's coming up for me and my kids, what needs to be done. So that's that. Now, in order for me to get the total of what transactions need to come out when, it's easier for me to write everything out and split it up per paycheck. So these are all the transactions that needed to come out of my paycheck one. Which, like I said, though, they're really not coming out of my paycheck on the 13th because these bills are due from the 1st or the 11th. So I'll use, if I don't have enough in my checking account, I'll move the emergency fund money there to clear those transactions. But then when I get this first paycheck, it's only going to cover the expenses that I need until my next paycheck, which are much less than my first paycheck expenses. So for my second paycheck, I only need to clear $588.16. That's all I need to clear. So what I'll do, if I use money for my emergency fund, I replace that immediately to keep it. It's more money in there than $1,000, but I always make sure $1,000 is there because that's my cushion. That's my emergency fund. But I also stick money to the side to make sure I have enough to pay my credit card bill balance off in full. So with my credit card bill, the expenses I put on there will be grocery store, gas, eating out, which I'm trying really hard not to do that this month. It's a go. Like, I just want to focus on that. But what else will I put on there? If me and my kids did something, I'll put it on there. Now, I have sinking funds specific for like birthdays. I don't know. I'll do a separate video with my sinking funds. But if, say for example, a birthday came up, I got somebody a card, I'll go ahead and swipe my credit card for that. But I'll take the money out of my sinking fund folder to cover that amount, and I'll just put it back in my checking account. I know that's a lot of like back and forth, but it works for me. That helps me keep on track, and I really enjoy putting money in my sinking funds and watching the sinking funds grow. It really helps me. Like, for example, I have a Christmas sinking fund, so I'll go ahead and put the charges on my credit card, but then when the bill comes due, I make sure I only spend what I had in my sinking fund account. I do not go over. you gotta get in the gist of it, but you know your limit, and it's really all about self-control. You'll figure it out as you go, I promise. It'll come to you. Okay, and this is me just tracking my spending for the month of December. So each transaction that I use with my credit card, I track here. Even though I can see it online, it's just something about pen and paper. I like doing that. So this is my monthly planner. I always like have to flip the page to see what I'm working with. This is my monthly planner. It starts in January though. So moving forward in January, I'll show you all, like I'll make videos with you guys and show you my budget, when bills are due and how much they are. But then I'll start tracking in here. So this will be my monthly overview. This might be the wrong title. I don't know. Monthly overview is right though. These are all the expenses that I'm going to have to pay for this month of January. And then what I'll be putting in my sinking funds. So I have sinking funds now that I've been doing since 2019 that I'm going to roll over into 2020. For the month of December, I decided not to fund the sinking funds. I'll begin funding them again in January. And then I'm also going to keep track of my savings, so how much I'm putting in my savings account. I'll make a separate video about this $5 challenge, but I have a saving account for myself, saving account for myself, and then a saving account for my daughter and my son. So I want to make sure that I, you know, put money in their account each month. That's a new goal of mine. I do it, but not consistently. Like I'm just like, oh, I forgot to do it last paycheck. Let me do it this paycheck. So I'm going to be more consistent with that. That's going to be a goal of mine. But then I paid for extra pages. I think I got 40 extra pages here. This is where I'm going to track my daily expenses. And it's going to be a goal of mine to only use like 2 pages. Because I am swipe queen, honey. I just will literally swipe my life away. So I hope this all made sense to you guys. Let me know if you would really like me to make a video where I do this, like you all do this with me, writing out how much everything is. I'm definitely going to do a separate video to show you how much everything was in real numbers. I'll go back and do that for December, and I'll do that for January as well, where I come on, I'll make a video and let you guys know what I'm estimating, and then I'll do a, you know, a closeout of how much everything was, and you guys can see how budgeting works. Like if I went over budget, if I'm under budget, how I'm doing with my sinking funds. We'll definitely keep you up to date. I really appreciate blooper. I really appreciate you guys watching. Give me a thumbs up and subscribe. I really appreciate it. Have a good one.